Hey guys, I want to talk about how to tackle warm-up for 17.2 today. So initially, go ahead and get some soft tissue mobility done. Grab a foam roller, work the high part of the hip flexor into the quadricep, free up some of your lat tension. I'd take a lacrosse ball and free up some of that pec minor tension as well. All of those things take just about 30 seconds to each side over each area. Take extra time to work through your stability and positional drills. So initially, for warming up for our lunges as well as our dumbbell cleans, I would start with a dynamic hip flexor stretch. To stretch that hip flexor properly, I'm going to make sure I squeeze my glute and really tuck my pelvis underneath me before I drive forward. That's going to allow me to get a nice stretch at the top of that hip flexor. And I can work through that dynamically, just 10 repetitions, 2 sets to each side. From there, to lock in some hip extension as well as our hip flexor stability, I can take a band, wrap that around my foot, driving both heels into the bench, squeezing my glutes to raise me up into extension, and then with resisted hip flexor tension here, hold just about a 1-2 count, slowly let that draw out. I can go again, 10 repetitions to each side for 2 reps. From there, to really load up a solid lunge position, I would work on a reverse lunge, and that puts more accentuation through driving through our glutes for the motion. So to warm up, we're going to take a step backwards, slowly lower ourselves into that position, keeping torso in line with that back hip, slightly inclined, and that front shin I'm going to keep nice and vertical. That's going to go the same way when you start your forward lunges. It's taking a step out forward, dropping that back knee, slight incline in through the torso, keeping that front shin vertical. That takes the heat off of our knee and through that front part of our hip. Moving right along, we'll talk about drills to lock in some overhead positioning for your bar work. First and foremost, really working on getting some flexion in through our shoulders as well as some mid-back extension. So I can take my PVC pipe, lay face down, and initially I want to drive up, reaching out in front of me before I raise my arms. By driving up, that really allows us to get more upward rotation of our scapula to drive that overhead movement. It's going to allow you to function better with your toes to bar and with that initial pull on your bar muscle ups. From there, to engage more of the lats, again for our muscle ups and our toes to bar, I can focus on hollow rock position, pointing those toes outward, and then drawing that PVC pipe towards my hips, engaging lats as I do this. Focus on keeping nice tension in that front part of our core. To finish things off, we can go to our pull-up bar here. And I want to work on an active stretch in my bottom position. So what I see often when people do toes to bar, especially when they start getting tired, they kind of tend to hang out all the way at their end range, and we're really just hanging out on our rotator cuff in that position. I want you to really stabilize through the lats and keep an active stretch. Again, we can focus on hollow rock position here, but I'm staying engaged through my shoulders, not letting myself drop out fully. So work on that active bottom stretch for 10 seconds, 5 rounds. From there, I can do a little pull-up initiation drill that again can help with toes to bar and the muscle ups. Again, staying engaged and then just slightly pulling up, initiating that pull-up position. And from there, I can advance that to open up some more mid-back extension and flexion of the shoulder. Starting in that engaged position again, and then simply drawing chest forward and back. And again, stay tight in through that core as you do that, and that'll transfer to the bar muscle up very well. Give this a shot as your warm-up and catch us next week for 17.3.